What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, bringing you yet another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle today against Cho. So Cho and Joe are facing off in a UU match today. That is what I'm bringing your way. And no rhyme intended there, it just kind of happened. Now anyway, like I said, it's a UU match. We both have some very interesting teams. Before we get into that though, just want to remind you guys that as long as this video reaches that magical number of 50 likes, we're going to continue those double daily Wi-Fi battle uploads for you and all of that fun stuff. And speaking of fun stuff, there's some definitely fun teams and fun Pokemon going on here, as my opponent's bringing the Ambipom, Noivern, Ampharos, Jumpluff, which is awesome, Gardevoir, and then Jirachi. I really don't like Jirachi too much just because most of the time when I face them, they like to run the Power Flinch shenanigans, and I absolutely hate that set. This man is not running this, though, so, you know, absolutely nothing against using Jirachi whatsoever. It's actually a very cool, very interesting Pokemon. I just really don't appreciate the Power Flinching sets. Just don't. Now, on my side, I'm bringing Cradily, Electabuzz, Crobat, which I bring all the time and get used to it because quite a few of the battles that I had over this weekend, I brought Crobat as well, so you're going to see him a lot. Try to change some of the other Pokemon around, though. Scarf, Typhlosion, and then, so I guess that means that my Electabuzz is Eviolite in this battle. I know I'd been switching it back and forth. It's hard to keep it all straight. Also bringing the Scrafty, which I believe is Lumberry, and then Beartic, which is just kind of like a bulky Swords Dancing set. I know I wanted to try the Rain Dance Swift Swim stuff, but I did not have it at this point. I don't even think I picked up the TM for Rain Dance yet in my game, so I'd have to go get that first before trying that. Nonetheless, I'm going to start off with Cradily because it's a good opportunity for me to be able to get up the rocks and all that kind of stuff. And I can take this Fake Out kind of sort of okay because I do resist it. So even though he is, I believe, Life Orb? Wait, I didn't see any Life Orb. No Life Orb. He must be something else. Who knows? Maybe he's Focus Sash. He's going to go for the U-turn here. So that is going to be super effective. And that does some decent damage. And we know he's not banded because he changed moves. So that's basically two of his most popular sets out the window there. So he's something else. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks as he switches with the U-turn into the Jirachi. That's a little bit of a bad switch for me because he could potentially have Iron Head and potentially have Trick. Neither one of those is something that I am interested in dealing with. So I am going to switch out to my Electabuzz here. And he is going to trick me. I believe he has a Choice Scarf. So I think that's what it was. We'll see in a second here. Yes. Choice Scarf, so he's going to obtain my Eviolite, which does nothing for him. I'm going to obtain my Choice Scarf, which is a perfectly viable item on Electabuzz, actually. So I'm perfectly okay with that. And that thwarts his plan to steal the leftovers from Cradily and cripple it with the Choice Scarf. So that's great. He's going to switch out here to his Faboost. I don't even know if that's pink or if that's purple or whatever color it is, but it is gorgeous, whatever it is. Shiny Ampharos. He's going to take that Volt Switch very nicely, and I can switch into my Beartic, which is an ideal switch for me because I figured he might be Mega Ampharos. Turns out that he doesn't Mega Evolve, though, and it's just a waste of a turn as I miss Icicle Crash and he misses Focus Blast, so I guess that's just what happens sometimes. We're both pretty bad accuracy moves, I guess. Icicle Crash has like 85. Focus Blast has 70, so that is that. Hit him up with a, whatchamacallit, Icicle Crash. He doesn't Mega Evolve, so he might not even be a Mega Evolution. Doesn't kill him off. He goes for the Focus Blast, and I lived with 1 HP, by the way, if you caught that, before I ate my citrus berries, so it's kind of crazy. I got a little bit lucky there, unless that was just a high roll, but regardless, that means I'm going to be able to get another Icicle Crash off. He wants to preserve that Ampharos for now, so he's going to switch into the Ambipom to take the Icicle Crash, and that just straight up kills it. So if he was Focus Sash, you know, obviously that was broken due to the Stealth Rocks, so we'll never know what item that was. Now in comes the Gardevoir. And I'm assuming that this is now going to be the Mega Evolution because Ampharos did not Mega Evolve. So I'm just going to go for the Aqua Jet here because he's going to outspeed and kill me. And he's not Mega Evolving, so I still don't know what the Mega is unless he's just not bringing a Mega. But he does go for the Will-O-Wisp, which is great. And no, he's not Mega. He's not Mega. He is Leftover. So bulky Gardevoir with the Willow. And that is actually a very decent set. Very, very decent set. Because it can pass Wishes. I believe Gardevoir also gets Thunder Wave, not positive on that. But you could do the dual status if you want. I'm pretty sure it can learn Toxic too, so you can spread any kind of statuses with this thing. It's just ridiculous. And it is pretty bulky on the special side, and the Will-O-Wisp helps mitigate its bad physical defense as well. He's just going to finish me off here with a Moonblast. I definitely was not expecting this set, so that's why I played it the way I did with the Aqua Jets and everything, and it really didn't do that much, even though the first time it hit it was not burned. That is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to switch into Crobat here and just go for the U-turn, get some chip damage on this thing, and you know, it's really not going to do that much, so it might be invested in its physical defense, or it might just be max HP, and that's just how much it does, I don't know. Going to go into Cradily, because I don't mind getting burned if that's what you want to do, but I really thought the Psyshock would be coming, and my defenses are pretty good, so, you know, coming off of most likely uninvested special attack, that's not going to do too much, and in fact, I get back over the 50% mark with my lefties, and he misses the Willow. I'm going to land the Toxic, so that's a little bit hacksy, especially because the accuracy difference isn't that much this generation. Will-O-Wisp is 85, I believe, and Toxic is 90, so that is a bit unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. And now that we have the Toxic off on this thing, you know, it's pretty much... well, I guess it might have Wish, so it's not necessarily, you know, on a clock, but it's kind of on a clock. Kind of, sort of, if that makes any sense whatsoever. If it does. He's going to switch out here because it's kind of a bad matchup, and he wants to go back into that Jirachi to try to trick me stuff. He wants to trick me that Eviolite and steal my lefties because I guess he's hungry. I don't know. I'm going to get the crit on the Giga Drain, so the Hacks is kind of going my way. And I kind of feel bad about that. I don't like when that happens. I don't like when Hacks goes either way. I just don't like Hacks, really. I really don't. I like it when you can win based off of just skill. I know Hacks is part of the game, but still, I like, you know, the skilled plays and that kind of stuff. I don't know, whatever. Whatever, man. He's going to go for the trick again as I switch back into my Electabuzz, so I'm going to get my Eviolite back, which is exactly what I wanted. So, thankfully... You know, I predicted that well. I figured he might go for the Iron Head as well. That might be, you know, the only other option would be that he would go for the Iron Head there, and I resist that, so I felt like I was okay switching into Electabuzz. Thankfully, he just went for the trick. He decides to go for the Ice Punch, maybe predicting me to switch back out, I don't know. But it deals some decent damage to Electabuzz, and I had some decent damage off on him as well. And now I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt as he switches in his Ampharos, which will die to the Thunderbolt, even though it is a resisted hit. And I don't remember if we talked about having no Megas before this battle. A lot of times I just don't bring Megas. I just don't do it too often at all. So that may be what happened here. I don't exactly remember. But nonetheless, he's going to bring in his... Noivern, and he's going to be able to outspeed me because I do not have my Scarf. He might be Scarfed, or he could be Specs. I know he was Choiced. I definitely remember that this thing was Choiced. I just don't know if I ever found out which one it was. That Draco is definitely going to destroy the life of my Electabuzz, so down it goes. That is a little bit of a problem. And he's going to Draco me again as I bring in my Scrafty here. I should be able to take that okay. I mean, I'm not running Assault Vest. That would definitely help. But it still does about 40% as I go for the Dragon Dance. And another Draco is not going to kill me off. And, you know, at this point, this is where I figured out that he was pretty much definitely choiced. You know, I guess I should have figured that out as soon as I saw that he wasn't Life Orb. Just because most of the non-Life Orb Noiverns are choiced in some way, and out comes that beautiful, fabulous pink Jumpluff. That thing is so gorgeous. I really wanted to see what set this thing was running, but I did not get the chance to because I went for the Ice Punch as he switched it in, so that is a dead Jumpluff. Dead Jumpluff. Very unfortunate. A lot of times they like to run, you know, Stun Spore or Sleep Powder, and maybe Acrobatics. I don't even know. I have no idea what that thing could have been running. Haven't seen a Jumpluff do much competitively this generation at all. So I'm going to switch out here because even with the Dragon Dance, he's going to be able to hit me up with a Draco Meteor. He does go for the U-turn though, which is a great play on his part because he's going to get some super effective chip damage off on this Cradily, and every little bit helps. Even though I have the Recover, I just don't have a lot of chances to use it with the Pokemon that he has left. So he's going to go into the Jirachi. and take a little bit of Stealth Rocks damage, which really doesn't mean that much to him whatsoever. Still haven't figured out if he has Wish. I'm guessing he does not because of the trick Choice Scarf stuff that he likes to do. That wouldn't make a lot of sense for him to be Wish. So he has Iron Head, Ice Punch, and maybe Zen Headbutt is his other move. I don't know. But I switched Scrafty in on it, and that was a problem because he's just going to finish me off with 2 Iron Heads. That is a problem. That is a big problem because I have nothing to take out the Noivern. He can just come in and Draco me basically whenever he wants. So I am Scarfed here. I am going to go for the Eruption. I will outspeed this Jirachi, even though I know we're both Scarfed. Because Jirachi's base speed is 100, I believe. Pretty sure all of his stats are 100. And Typhlosion is just over that, so Eruption will kill him off. Then he can bring out the Noivern. He is a little bit on the clock here, though, with switches because of those Stealth Rocks. He's taking 25% every time. So he doesn't really have that many switches left. But Dracos are just killing everything. There's not really much I can do about it. So I have to switch in Cradily here, because otherwise I'm just going to die. And I don't know if he's Scarfed at this point. I really don't know what his item is. I just know that it's a choice item. He ends up getting the crit on the Cradily, which does matter. That was not going to kill. I don't know. If he was Specs, maybe it didn't matter. But if he was Scarfed, that definitely did matter. I'd have to calc it. I don't know. It was a Draco, though. You know, it's stab. It does do a lot of damage, so perhaps it didn't matter. But I felt like it did in the moment. And I was able to bring in Crobat here and finish him off with a Brave Bird. And that is pretty much what, signifies the end of the match here. Because that Noivern was pretty much his win condition. And now he has the Gardevoir out here. Obviously, he can finish me off with a Psyshock. I think that's what he was carrying, Psyshock and not Psychic. He's going to trace the Infiltrator. It's not like I'm going to be throwing up subs anytime soon. I don't have anything on my team that can even sub, I don't think. But I'm going to go for the Brave Bird. I figured he might try to Willow me or something, or just go straight for the Psyshock. Who knows? But he's toxic, so there's not much he can do about it. He's going to Psyshock me because he is on a timer and this is his last Pokemon, but I survived with 2 HP. Thank you, HP investment. Thank you for that. It's the only reason I survived. I get the Black Sludge recovery, he gets his Leftovers recovery. Neither one really means a whole lot, especially because his is negated by the toxic damage. And this match is going to come to an end as Crobat Brave Birds this Gardevoir into oblivion and kills himself in the process. So I was left with just the Typhlosion, I believe. I have to take a look at my team after this, but pretty sure it was just Typhlosion. So it is indeed a 1-0. And yeah, that was definitely a good match. It came down to the end. That Noivern gave me so much trouble. Yeah, it was a 1-0 indeed. All my other Pokemon did faint. So unfortunately, he was not able to get going with that Jumpluff or the Jirachi, really. I mean, he did kill off the Scrafty just because of the way I switched it in, but he wasn't able to get those trick shenanigans going. He really wanted to trick that Cradily, and it just did not work out for him because I guess I saw through it. I saw through it, but I really enjoyed some of the sets that he was running. I would love to know, so let me know in the comment section if you're watching this video, Cho, what that Noivern was running. I know you didn't want to reveal your Jumpluff set when I asked you about it, so he said it was running some weird thing. I don't know what it was running. Something different, so I guess I'd have to battle him again to figure it out. But definitely let me know in the comment section below if that Noivern was Choice Specs or Choice Scarf, because that will help me figure out whether or not that crit on Cradily mattered, because I'm just very curious if I could have lived one. I am specially defensive, so it would kind of just help me gauge just how many hits Cradily can really take. How thick is it? I don't know. I've used it a lot, but not nearly enough to know, everything that it can take and whatnot. Alright, well that's pretty much it for this time, guys. That is everything that I wanted to say, so thank you very much for watching, and do not forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, because it does help out a lot. So I will see you guys for the next battle, but until then, game on.